Oh, hello. I'm Stephen Ian Reichenberg, and this is Recovering the Heart. Today, I'd like to speak about vulnerability. It's, yeah, that's something very, very near and dear to me. That's something I had to learn over a long time. And I don't think I'd be alive today if I hadn't had some experience of learning how to get vulnerable. I spent over 17 years addicted to opiates, heroin pills, and a whole bunch of other stuff for even longer. Um, in and out of treatments, in and out of facilities, trying medications, everything I could. And what's made the biggest difference in my life to getting me here today, not only clean from those substances, but more importantly, happy and growing and call it recovering, improving my life, was learning how to get vulnerable. Um, I had this beautiful experience of going to a treatment center where I happened to be on a floor with men in the age range of about 30 to 50, 55 years old. And for the most part, all of us had a lot to lose if we didn't change something huge. And we're from all walks of life. And some of us, like myself, had never done anything with their lives and really desperately wanted to. And others, were in danger of losing their wives, their children. And if we hadn't learned how to express how we were feeling and what was going on internally, honestly, none of us would ever have been able to change. And I can't speak to, those other gentlemen and exactly where they are now in their journey, but at this point, I'm sitting here a little shy of 2 years removed from any kind of substance use. And that took, gosh, I began at 37, and my use of substances began in earnest around 11 or 12 years old, with, like I said, 17 years of those being very, very dark years. So if that's not a wonderful resume for the power of vulnerability, I don't know what else is in terms of internal change. In that facility, I had to learn how to speak about some very uncomfortable things in front of those men and from counselors in order to really get to the heart of the matter. I had to learn how to cry in front of a group of men. And once again, vulnerability can be an incredibly valuable practice for anyone, whether you're recovering from substance addiction, mental health issues, man, woman, it doesn't matter. I can only, of course, speak to my experience. And unfortunately, men in our culture, that's not always the best, ideal for us in terms of what we're taught growing up, about letting people into our deep emotional turmoil. Thankfully, that narrative seems to be changing right now as time goes on, but it wasn't the case for me for much of my life. And even now, even if the narrative changes, that doesn't change the fact of how incredibly, incredibly uncomfortable it is to actually get vulnerable with another human being. I mean, to let them in, to let them see the pain. Because until you can do that, until I'll speak about me, until I could do that, I couldn't really see where the work was that needed to be done. And even then, sometimes I still needed that other person's perspective. And it certainly wasn't an instant thing. And there's plenty of times I've been less than comfortable with being as openly vulnerable. And, but I've seen the value of it. And every time I'm feeling really closed off, it usually means there's a lot more things in my life that are going wrong as a result, and I need to open up to somebody. And yeah, for the brief moments of very great uncomfortability and pain that it might bring, it has brought an end to suffering. And, I'm such a fan of that lovely quote, um, pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. I'm the one who causes my own suffering by not finding solutions to those things that cause me pain, especially if those solutions, like getting vulnerable, are just a little too uncomfortable for me, that I'd rather sit in my misery than walk into that space. And that's how I existed for a very long time. And gratefully, I'm one of those few people who was able to survive everything that brought upon them and make it to a point where I learned the lessons of what opening up to others and to myself, because I also had to get vulnerable with myself, allowing myself to see those ugly parts, those parts that weren't suitable for show and tell, so to speak. Those are the parts I needed to look at and talk about. And with that, I'd like to guide you through a brief meditation around that subject. I invite you to find a comfortable seat, to shut your eyes if that feels right, whether lying down, whether seated with a straight spine, a straight back, somewhere you can find ease for the next 10 minutes or so. Begin to deepen the breath through the nostrils, breathing deeply and fully, allowing the breath to go into the belly, the lungs, the heart, and exhaling fully and completely through the mouth. Another deep breath in through the nose, exhaling fully and completely through the mouth. And once more, in through the nose, and with the sigh out through the mouth. Begin to feel and sense into first the back of the skull. Breathing into that space. Allowing each breath to bring relaxation to the body part that it touches. Breathing into the forehead and releasing to the face and releasing. Allowing the breath begin to trickle out from the face into the ears. Breathing deeply and fully. Inhaling, that inhale going from the ears into the shoulders, allowing the weight of the day to wash off of you as the air slowly lightens your burden. Bringing that attention down the shoulders and into the tops of the arm. Once again, breathing deeply and fully. Each inhale bringing lightness, and exhale, release. Breathing further down into the lower arms, the forearms, feeling the breath touch it, and release. Into the hands, touching them with the breath and releasing. From your hands, shift your attention now to your toes. Again, touch it with the breath and release. The toes into the feet. Once again, the air washing away the discomfort of your day, lightening the load and releasing. The feet into the lower legs, the ankles, the calves, allowing the breath to touch and release. Attention going to the upper legs, the thighs, the hips. Breathing deeply and releasing. From there, your attention going to the pelvis, where the hips meet. Inhaling deeply and exhaling fully. Travel upwards now with your attention, with your mind's eye to your stomach. The rise and fall. Inhale and exhale. And now from the stomach to the heart. Inhaling that lightness, exhaling that release, and allowing the heart to open. Knowing that this is where you'll do the work. It's not your mind where the fear is. It's in the heart. But in order to work in the heart must be open. Understanding that not all parts are bright, not all parts are shiny and inviting within the heart. We must explore the dark corners in order to see the totality of it. Trying to turn away from those dark parts will cause more harm and never, ever allow you to fully heal. Look deep within. Witness the fear. Witness it. It's there and it will be there. With practice it may leave, but it's there for right now. Witness the discomfort. But know those feelings are of the mind, and they're not you. They do not own you. Witness them and move forward to your heart. Opening it up to your gaze, allowing yourself in to all of it. Only when you do so will you be able to see the full picture of how complete you already are. There's no need to remove the darkness. In fact, you cannot. It's part of you. The harm is not that it's there. The harm is in the turning away. Because darkness cannot be cut out. But we can shine a light on it. The light of your awareness. Once you open up yourself to those parts and allow others to step in and see them with you, you will find comfort in that darkness, knowing that it is all a part of you and of your heart. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. You may begin to bring some movement back into the hands, the toes, very slowly, with love and compassion for yourself. Flutter your eyelids open if they were closed, and allow the light in. Well, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak about something that has meant so much to me. Once again, my life would not be the same without. And allowing me a chance to get vulnerable once again. And I know that my heart is a little more open today. Thank you. Once again, from Recovering the Heart, I'm Stephen Ian Reichenberg, and have a beautiful day.